me about Storytellers for Good?
So, Storytellers for Good is a team of journalists and photographers who want to use their skills to promote inspiring stories. And right now, we have kind of two tracks to our mission. One is a broader mission about trying to be a part of a movement to change the culture around storytelling in this country. I come from a media background where there was TV news background where there's a lot of emphasis on the tragic stories about criminals and car accidents and day in, day out type emphasis on that. And I have a belief that a culture is defined by the types of stories that it chooses to tell. And so when we're focused on all this, it actually kind of creates our world in a way. And then, on the flip side, when we focus more on the solutions and the positive and the inspiring that are out there, that can also transform our experience of ourselves and the world. And so that's kind of the big picture. And more specifically, right now, we're working mostly with nonprofit organizations to help them with storytelling, and recognizing that this population has typically a lot of good stories to tell, but doesn't always have the resources or the know-how to bring them to life. Very grateful to have your support initially, and I think it's a great forum through which we can get the word out there about what we're doing. Not to mention the whole fiscal sponsor aspect of it has been really helpful for us, because we wanted to kick off this campaign in March, and we've applied for a 501c3 status but haven't attained that yet. So it worked out really well in that regard. You've been wonderful to work with, David. So it's been great. I haven't gotten a lot of random people who I don't know contributing, but it's been a forum through which my friends can check in and donate, and it's fun to see the little thermometer growing, which is a nice visual to have as part of our site and also on your page. Actually, I was turning 35, and I was going to have a birthday party because it's kind of a milestone year, and I thought, well, if I'm going to get people together, I might as well give birth to this other thing and have a different kind of birthday celebration of both myself and this new organization. And so initially I just wanted it to be something where people could come to an event and get inspired about good stories. And then as I thought about it and had this idea of raising money to provide free videos for 5 different nonprofits, it seemed like a great way to kick off the fundraising as well. So I approached a variety of different businesses for raffle and silent auction items, and I think we probably had like 10 different silent auction items, everything from wine to gym memberships, yoga studio memberships and things like that, to raffle. We had about 10 raffle items as well. So people bought raffle tickets coming in the door, and then people bid on silent auction items. So that was the major source of our fundraising for the event. And then the event itself was just meant to be fun. I gave a quick talk about my history working in the media business and why I decided to start this organization. And I had the founder of Ode magazine, which is also a very kind of positive news, solution-oriented publication, say some words, and Nipun Mehta, who is the founder of Charity Focus. So we all had some talking points, and then we had a dimension to our program because we were kicking off this campaign to provide a free video for 5 different nonprofits. I wanted to kind of generate buzz around that, and thought the audience would be the first, the great panel, to approach to decide which nonprofit should be first. And so I somewhat randomly selected 5 different nonprofits who had expressed interest in the campaign to come and give a 3-minute introduction to their organization, however they wanted to use the 3 minutes. And then the audience, everyone came in with a ticket to vote, and we had 5 different buckets, and they had 20 minutes or so to wander around and talk to people after the presentations, and then we counted up the votes, and the organization that won was Each One Reach One, which provides playwriting and mentoring programs for incarcerated youth. Well, I go back to a Zen proverb that has stayed with me for many years. It started when I was leaving the news business and decided to finish up my contract, not knowing what to do, and a friend of mine quoted this proverb, which is leap and then it will appear. And so I ended up using that as I bought a one-way ticket to Argentina and ended up, on this amazing 10-month adventure through South America, Europe, and India. And so I found that life has kind of asked me to do that and multiple times since. I had a sense about coming out to San Francisco and for the type of work that I wanted to do and the positive culture that is here, that this would be a great place to come. And so I drove out here without a job 2 years ago, and amazingly within like less than 2 weeks had 2 jobs and fit right in, and then suddenly all that kind of went away. So it was like, okay, it's time to leap again. And this is, what I'm doing now is much more true to my my passion. So, but there wasn't, I don't have, some kind of trust fund or anything. So it was like jumping into a black hole. Like, I'm just gonna see what happens. And I think when you actually take steps to make things happen rather than just sit around and think about them, something happens where you start to meet people and things just start to happen. But it requires actually taking that leap.
Right.
And sometimes not knowing if there's going to be a net there.
Right. Cool. Well, thank you very much. Storytellers for Good. Check it out.